My channel's just grown and grown and grown. It's done really well. I've monetized it with a Patreon and a website. My partner said to me one day, she was like, why don't you just follow it for a year? I'll cover us financially for a year as long as you get 1 year to just pursue your dreams. I said, I won't need a year. I'll make it work. And I went for it. And it was 10 months, I believe, until it was all set up with a full-time income coming from just YouTube alone. Because I thought if I can have just 100 to 150 people paying £9 a month, that could be a nice healthy side income to my gaming channel. Wow, the world of blogging is incredible. I want to have more sites like this, but in different niches.
Theo, welcome to the channel.
Hi, Carl. Thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. It's great to get you on here. So we have really just met. I've came across your YouTube channel, quite a new YouTube channel, and we was put in touch through that, and it's great to chat. So we've got a few questions from our audience. We're going to do just literally a 10-minute chat, take some time out of our day and see if we can connect with people and just find out like what's been going on in your world. And a lot's going on by the sounds of it. So,
let's do it. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name's Theo Ramwell, and I'm also known as Erosium on YouTube. So I've got two YouTube channels. One's that is all about gaming and World of Warcraft specifically, and that's how I kind of started in the whole YouTube scene. And from there, my channel's just grown and grown and grown. It's done really well. I've monetized it with a Patreon and a website. And from there, I fell into blogging. And from there, I've followed that passion. And now I've got 5 blogging sites. And I also got a new YouTube channel, which is all about YouTube and blogging tips. And that's kind of where I'm at with everything, is hiring writers and editors to help me manage the various different sites and keeping that all afloat.
So YouTube came first, did it, before the blogs?
Yeah.
Right.
I've actually been doing YouTube since I was 18, and I'm 30 now. So I mean, I wasn't following it as a passion. It was more of like a hobby for me. And then as I grew older, I was like, this is a amazing opportunity. I need to throw everything I can at it. My partner said to me one day, she was like, why don't you just follow it for a year? I'll cover us financially for a year as long as you get 1 year to just pursue your dreams. I said, I won't need a year. I'll make it work. And I went for it. And it was 10 months, I believe, until it was all set up with a full-time income coming from just YouTube alone. And from there, I pursued other ways to monetize it.
That's incredible. So yeah, I mean, it's great having the support of, you know, partner or family or friends just to encourage you a little bit. I was very similar situation myself. I wanted to do it full time, but my partner was like, not a chance until you can prove that it can bring in an income. That's really fantastic. So what made you go then from the YouTube to actually start your blog? What was the reason for doing that?
So I was in a situation with my YouTube channel where I wanted to start a Patreon, and I wanted my followers and my subscribers to support me and basically give money to me, basically, in some way, shape, or form. But I realized that the majority of my competition didn't really have many patrons, and I wanted to figure out a way to get a lot of them, because I thought if I can have just 100 to 150 people paying £9 a month, that could be a nice healthy side income to my gaming channel. And so I thought, well, why don't I create a Patreon but connect it up to a website which is all about World of Warcraft guides and gaming guides. And then I can say anyone that wants to support me on Patreon gets the bonus gaming guides to go with it. And suddenly I set that up. I released a few videos, marketed it really well. I showed visual images of the actual guides, and suddenly we picked up 100 to 150 patrons every month for around 18 months to 19 months now. From there, I fell into blogging, and I realized, wow, the world of blogging is incredible. I want to have more sites like this, but in different niches. And that's how I found you, WP Eagle, and a few others just like that.
See, I love having these chats and these conversations, because before this conversation, the word Patreon, never crossed my, it doesn't cross my mind. It doesn't come into my business whatsoever. But I know it's a big part of some people's income and income streams.
Yeah.
And we always say about diversifying your income. I bet there's tons of people watching this video now that haven't even thought of that.
Look up Patreon for WordPress. It's a plugin. You literally connect up your Patreon to your WordPress, and when you're putting up a post on your WordPress, it's completely free. So when you put up a post on your WordPress, you can select the Patreon tier that you have accessible. What I would say is be very careful about having lots of different Patreon tiers, as I started off with 3 Patreon tiers, a low one, a medium one, and a high one, and it just got too difficult to manage. So I ended up getting rid of all of them but one, and I just kept the high one in there. And people were just as willing to pay the top one as they were the lower one. But whilst I had the multiple options, people would never really go for the high one. They'd go for the middle. And that was really losing me like £3 to £4 for like the first 3 months until I decided to scrap it all and keep just the one. So if you are at all like in any niche that potentially doesn't have the best CPM or RPM for like your advert money, then maybe consider monetizing with Patreon and a site which you provide information to your patrons as a bonus for supporting you.
That's really cool. That's really good. Is that? I never kind of thought of that. If you're committing time to creating specific content for that, person who's paying that recurring payment every month, then there is a level of commitment to that. Have you created information or things that they get once, or is it a constant thing you have to keep, supplying new content, new information?
That's an amazing question. So I actually have a writer who constantly keeps the site updated with 2 to 3 guides every single month. In World of Warcraft, the niche that I'm in particular, and I would say I'm an expert in this niche. I've been playing the game for 18 years. So I know kind of everything there is to know about this game. There is a system where you have to earn a certain amount of gold money in order to pay for your subscription. Otherwise, you have to pay $9.99 a month. Now, what my guides cover is ways that you can make money really easily in game. And this basically means that they get the game for free every single month. As a result, they won't have to pay for the actual subscription. They can just get a certain amount of gold, and that covers their subscription. So supporting me is kind of keeping them afloat in game, whilst also being able to support their favorite content creator. So that's kind of how I go.
I think that's a brilliant take on it. Really giving them some value. They're paying you so much money per month, but actually they'll get some of that back by, the tips that you give them. So that's really good. I know with the gaming niche, the RPMs and the ad revenue can be quite low. So I suppose it is really important that you find these other ways to monetize that niche. Do you find that difficult then in the gaming niche to actually, to find ways to monetize them?
Yeah, I did initially find it really difficult to monetize my site and my YouTube on a whole. But as I kind of got more into like the Patreon side of things, I started to reach out to companies which people would ask me like, where did you get that t-shirt? And I'd be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should reach out to this t-shirt company and ask them to sponsor me. And, that actually did work out into a sponsor. So it was difficult to do that. And I did realize that making a living from just the CPM and RPM, per 1,000 views or per 1,000 clicks isn't really as easy as, making money with all the other various monetization strategies. So I definitely did have to reach out to the other strategies there because, you've got Patreon, you've got gaming sites, you've got streaming, you've got sponsorship, affiliate products. You've got so many different things that you can monetize with. And as a brand new YouTuber, you are just making videos. That's all you're doing. Yeah,
that's really fantastic. So you've got a lot of experience in this niche, in the gaming niche. Not only that, but like I say, on YouTube in general. And I know in business, we were talking off air, you've done a lot successfully in business in general. And you're going to be coming to the affiliate gathering this year, I believe, which I'm really excited. We've not met face to face, so in real life, so that will be really good to see you there. I have a question here then. So what are you most looking forward to about coming to an event like this in person?
I've got, I'm in the property scene as well. So I originally started in property. Every single penny I made from YouTube, I've put into investment in property. And I did that because I first learned that property game as a 20-year-old. And I went to a specific event all about property. And going to that event, I made so many connections and learned so many things that it's honestly just made me financially free for the rest of my life. I never need to work another day apart from just make sure the property are managed just because of that one meeting. So if that gave me the value that's allowed me to be kind of financially free, then imagine what this blogging one could do for me. I'm going to meet tons of other YouTubers. I'm going to meet tons of other blog writers, people who own massive blog sites, which is something I specifically want to get into. I'm dying to grow my blogs into big companies. So just the networking and being able to rub shoulders and meet people who are doing what I want to do is going to speed up my process just exponentially. So that alone is just something I'm absolutely dying to do.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest takeaways we seem to get, that it's that connecting with people, the information you get from somebody who's done, what they've done for quite a while, and you can tap into that knowledge because, it's an industry that is a little bit secretive sometimes and people don't want to share. But when you get to an event and you can meet them in person, you can have a drink with them, they're more likely to share that knowledge. And people are really, really helpful, even though we live in a bit of a shrouded niche with a bit of secrecy to it, and you don't want to give away all your secrets. When you meet someone in person at these events, they're willing to say, do you know what, I'll share my URL with you, my domain with you, and they're willing to do that. And there's all levels of people, from somebody who hasn't even started a website to people who's got portfolios with 50, 60 websites in. So there is a diversity of people and experience at these events. So I've personally gone to them, not just talking about the affiliate gathering. I've gone to 3 this year. I took away something from everyone, and particularly took a lot away: phone numbers, email addresses, and a bit of support network I've got there.
That's specifically something I want to do as well, as go to as many of these gatherings as possible, honestly, because I really think that the value you get from a gathering versus just watching a video or reading a blog is just completely out of this world different. It's just so much more value that you can get from actually just talking to someone, having a conversation with them, and them seeing how genuine you are, how passionate you are about a specific subject, and wanting to see you do successfully from that.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I spoke to somebody last week, and he said the biggest thing he got out of the event was he met a connection. Somebody wanted to get started, and they asked him his advice, and he's been mentoring them for free. Doesn't charge money. He's been mentoring them, and they're now full time. Within a year since the last affiliate gathering, they've gone full time. And he says it's the biggest pleasure he's had, just knowing that he's managed to help somebody get to where they want to be financially, or in their own space mentally. It's fantastic. And he said that was the biggest thing he took away from, which that lit up my heart. That was brilliant to hear. So
it's actually something I've done with my brother. He's called Josh, the driving instructor, and he was just a driving instructor. And he said to me one day, about a year or two ago, he said to me, Theo, I want to do something else. I want to have an extra business with what I'm doing right now. So I want to create something bigger than what I do right now. What should I do? And I said, just do YouTube. Teach people how to drive on YouTube. And I helped him get started with that. And now he just mostly does YouTube and a few lessons as well. So it's crazy how it's a domino effect of one person helping the other, and then that person helping another, and you pass it on to people you care about and you want to see do well.
So you mentioned earlier kind of things you've done on the last, like say, many, many years you've been doing this. What are you focusing on right now? Has anything changed kind of from last year or the previous years to this year? Is anything different you're doing?
So right now, I really want to work on Theo Ramwell, the YouTube channel, all about blogging and YouTube tips. I'm so passionate about this industry on a whole. People basically being able to create a income from just YouTube and blogging on a whole. So I want to share the tips that I'm learning, and I also want to share the journey that I'm going from. I fell into blogging about a year and a half to 2 years ago, and from there I've just absorbed so much information that I'm trying to share in a way that's my personal approach to things, so that people can do it themselves. They can say, you know what, I'm doing this, but I want to I want to take my business to the next level, so to speak. And I'm going to do that through YouTube or through blogging. So at the moment, I really want to focus on my Theo Ramwell YouTube channel and also keep my my gaming channel afloat as it is doing right now. I also think I will take some of the advice that you gave me, Carl, and look into getting more sponsorships for the gaming channel as well, because I definitely think that there is room for improvement there. And you've given me some ideas for things that I hadn't even considered previously.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like I say, just jumping on these chats and meeting people in person, you get that little snippet, don't you, where you walk away with, I'm going to do that. I've done it. I've had 2 interviews already this morning. I've already took at least one good nugget of information out of each one that I'm going to implement. So they are, it's fantastic, isn't it? So finally, Theo, thanks very much for joining us. Where can people actually find you then? Where do you want to send them?
Check me out on YouTube. Just go to Theo Ramwell, search my name, and my YouTube channel will pop up. If you at all do want to just look into, where I started, then search Erosium on YouTube, or just search World of Warcraft, and I'll pop up there as well. I'm a really big figure in the World of Warcraft scene, so you'll see me in both those kind of areas. My name is Erosium on YouTube for the gaming side of things, but as I say, I'm trying to grow the Theo Ramwell YouTube channel for blogging and YouTube tips.
So thank you for joining me. I will see you, like I say, at the Felix Gathering. If anybody does want to come and see myself or meet Theo, tickets are still available. It's the 19th of May in New York. It's a one-day event. Please do come along, meet all these wonderful people, get to know the community that you are in and you're working in. Let's see if we can help you expand your website or your business. So Theo, thank you very much.
Really, really appreciate it.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, and I'll see you in a few weeks' time.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.